Hello, beautiful sacred souls. Today I want to explore the history of soul retrieval, where it comes from, how it evolved, and why integration is such an important and sometimes missing part of the process. I want to start by saying something very clearly. This is not about shaming healers, practitioners, or spiritual traditions. Many people are doing beautiful, ethical, and deeply attuned work, and many modern healers do include integration in powerful ways. And even those that are not doing integration and are just doing straight soul retrieval, they're not doing anything wrong. I'm just giving a different perspective of why, if you've had a soul retrieval and you're not noticing a shift, why you might not be noticing a shift. The conversation is really meant to add some clarity, compassion, and nervous system awareness to a practice that already holds deep wisdom. What is soul retrieval? Well, soul retrieval comes primarily from ancient shamanic traditions found across cultures worldwide, including indigenous, such as Siberian, Native American, Andean, Amazonian, Celtic, and African traditions, to name a few. The core belief is that when we experience trauma, shock, grief, or overwhelming events, a part of our soul or life essence may fragment or withdraw as a protective response. Soul retrieval is the process of locating those lost fragments, bringing them back, restoring wholeness, vitality, and life force. Traditionally, this work was deeply ritualized, embodied, communal, and relational. It was not a quick or isolated experience. How ancient traditions approached integration. Well, in traditional cultures, soul retrieval did not end with just retrieving the soul fragment. It was actually followed by community witnessing, ongoing ritual, somatic practices, storytelling, daily integration, and relational holding. In other words, retrieval was just the beginning. The healing happened through safe connection, relationship, repatterning, reparenting, community support, which is remarkably consistent with what modern neuroscience and trauma therapy now confirm. How did soul retrieval shift in modern spiritual culture? As shamanic practices moved into Western spiritual practices, they became more individual, more energetic, more streamlined, less communal. This made them more accessible, which is so beautiful and amazing. But it also meant that some of the integration scaffolding got lost along the way, not intentionally, but culturally. Many practitioners were trained primarily in energetic perception, spirit communication, subtle body healing, and not necessarily in trauma theory, nervous system regulation, attachment repair, psychological integration. This wasn't wrong, it simply reflected the knowledge available at the time and the skill set that those practitioners were seeking. Why is integration so important? Well, here is what we now understand through trauma research, neuroscience, and somatic psychology, and even internal family systems, which is a psychological modality. Healing is not just about retrieving what was lost. It is about helping the nervous system feel safe again, teaching the body how to receive, creating relational trust internally, rebuilding self-connection. In parts language or internal family systems, we might say a retrieved soul fragment or part often needs reparenting, attunement, and ongoing presence before deep healing can occur. Without this, people may experience temporary relief or emotional destabilization, confusion, or very little lasting change. This does not mean that the soul retrieval was ineffective. It means retrieval plus integration is where most people experience transformation. I also want to deeply honor that many healers already intuitively include integration. That includes those who go slowly, who track nervous system responses, who invite consent, who offer emotional support, who encourage embodiment, who encourage their clients to also seek mental health support with a therapist, who create safety. This is beautiful, ethical healing work. What we are seeing now is a collective evolution where spirituality, psychology, neuroscience, trauma awareness are beginning to speak the same language. And this is something we should celebrate. So rather than seeing this as something that was missing, I see it as something that is emerging. Our collective understanding of trauma, safety, embodiment, and nervous system regulation is expanding, and spiritual practices are naturally evolving alongside that growth. When we bring spirit, neuroscience, nervous system awareness, parts work, compassion together, healing becomes safer, deeper, and more sustainable. And that, to me, is a beautiful unfolding. And it is okay that we still sometimes fragment these healings with spiritual practitioners, mental health practitioners, and body practitioners. And it is important for those of you seeking healing to know that you do need to include the mind, the body, and the spirit. If this conversation resonates, I'd like you to know that I integrate all of these approaches. So if you're interested in learning more, I invite you to like, share, subscribe, follow, and you're always welcome to join my newsletter. If you want updates on upcoming teachings, courses, and offers that bridge spirituality, trauma healing, and neuroscience wisdom, that can be found at blossomingheartwellness.com, or I invite you to read my book, The Divine Within, Healing Ourselves to Heal the World. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a part of this collective healing evolution. Sending you deep love.